What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the gigantic news that Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. The organization of events is that I saw, the Discussing Film Twitter, feed that said he's back. And then people in the comments were like, is this real? And they said, yeah, it's basically teased in the teaser that Ryan put out. And I was like, well, is it confirmed or is it? And then I looked and I found the rest of the story, and holy dear God, it's quite something. Now, the first thing, maybe it's because I have a pessimistic point of view, even though actually I don't. I don't want them to mess it up. And I think that's probably something that a lot of people would think of, whether it's the first thing they think of or something down the line. They had, honestly, about as good of a send-off as you could ever want for any character with Wolverine. It took a while, although Wolverine has always consistently been one of the better characters in the, live-action movies. It did take a while to right the ship with X-Men and all that stuff, but they did it with his last film, and it was honestly a masterpiece from start to finish. At least in my opinion, it is. It's one of, if not the best, superhero or comic book kind of movies that we have. It really is. So yes, the first thing I think of is, are you going to be able to do it right? Not like, do you give him a send-off? Is it played off completely for jokes? Because, like, Deadpool, obviously is more of the joking thing, but Deadpool 1 and 2 also does have some heart and does have some character. You have to juggle that, though, right? Because it's like, well, there's been so many of these, not necessarily teases, but, like jokes or even insults, going back and forth, well, mainly Deadpool just to Wolverine, right? In these films. But now it's like, all right, well, you bring him back, you make a big deal out of it, right? The logo is literally his scratch mark in it. So he's a huge, you'd imagine, a huge part of the film. You don't do that and then, play it all off for last, pretend like it's not some big deal, because it is a big deal, and so everything's behind it. So what do? Well, the first thing, right, would have to be, well, now you really have to establish, and they already have, the multiverse in general, but you have to establish, I'd imagine, universes now. Did Wolverine die in that universe, and which universe was that compared to Deadpool's, compared to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Obviously, this is Deadpool's first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so, how would they play that in general? Those are all questions. Though, to me, it's, can they effectively bring him back without damaging the goodbye that we got for him, 5 years ago? Or I guess by the time it comes out, it actually is September 6th, 2024. So this movie is still 2 years out. So by that time, much later, 7 years since we last saw him, can you bring him back effectively? Can it not hurt the last time? And then what? Can you, I guess, properly send him off again? Because you're going to have to send him off again. Do you use this in any way to bring in other X-Men or, or other mutants? Like, what's the, I guess, larger plan than just Wolverine, if there is a larger plan? These are things that I guess come to mind. And then establishing, of course, all universes, any universe that they feel they need to establish. Those are probably the big three questions that I have for the film. But it is enormous. I mean, it really did break the internet, I think, based off of my judgment of what breaking the internet is. Lots of likes, lots of retweets, all very quickly, both from, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Discussing Film, all of these different things. Was it a surprise per se? I mean, like, they've always, again, like, teased it. I say that very lightly. Like, it's always kind of been an idea. I don't think any of us ever thought it wasn't. But then, of course, you wonder if they would actually ever do it. And then to drop it, let's look at the date and time, to drop it on a Tuesday afternoon, like a Tuesday afternoon after D23, where you'd imagine, and, Ryan obviously said that in his thing, like, we missed it. Like, could they have done this a few weeks ago? Like, what was the holdup from 2 weeks ago to right now? What changed, if anything? So I don't know why it was just done in the way that it was, but it certainly came out of left field. Not necessarily the idea, but just literally them dropping this news on us, just, in a bombshell, and that's what they did. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. You excited? You worried? Concerned? Somewhere in the middle? Let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on the next one.